Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ainatul Fathiyah binti Abdul Rahim, and I'm a postgrad student in Kuliah of Architecture and Environmental Design in International Islamic University Malaysia. Today I'm going to present a topic about discovering the global landscapes of health emergency disaster risk management in the context of disaster planning, a bibliometric review. I would like to begin with the introduction. Disasters destroys life and the livelihood around the world, and between the year 2000 and 2012, it is estimated over 700 people lost their life, and more than 1.5 billion were affected due to the natural disasters. However, in 2019 until today, we have been tested by one of the disease known as coronavirus, and this has been affecting about 220 countries. And according to the WHO dashboard, which is the image here that shows about 4,582,033 it who has been lost total death, and over 180 cases of the illness has been affected due to the coronavirus. Therefore, the WHO organization and the United Nations has been declared that this situation as a pandemic. And this COVID-19 pandemic has tested the country's public health system in coping with the multi-scale and massive health impact on the human lives. And therefore, they have to develop that's called as the Health Emergency and Disaster Risk Management Health EDRM framework to provide the global guidance to the countries on putting public capacities and functions within the across health and other sectors as well. So the objectives of this study is to provide the bibliometric analysis on the health disaster risk management by using one of the index journal databases, which are Scopus. So this study is going to be analyzed the development trend and literature that published in the study field of the health disaster risk management in the context of disaster planning. The citation, bibliographical, and the author keywords and the informations of the related articles were exported to the VOS viewer. And according to the VOS viewer was used and the analysis that involved about 1,137 documents related to the health disaster risk management studies. So these are the research method that I'm going to use, which is the bibliometric methodology, which captured by the applications of the quantitative tools on the bibliometric data. So the data mining was being conducted on 24 September 2022 by using the Scopus database. And the main theme for the articles containing the term by the search string, which is health disaster risk management and disaster planning, were used as the keyword in the title. And the oldest publication data has been discovered from 1976, and the most recent ones are from 2022. And all the information's requirements contains of the year of the publication, language, journal title, author, affiliations, keyword, document type, abstracts and counts of citations were exported into the CSV format by using VOS Viewer version 1.67. So these are the results and the discussion. So the first one is the tables of the growth of publication by the years, and it has been found that from year 1976 until year 2000 there is an increasing of the publications that related to the health disaster risk management and disaster plannings. However, in 2001 has been dropped, and the highest citation is in year 2017. And in year 2014 until 2017 there is an increase back, and in 2017 and 2018 remain constant, as the total numbers of the publications are only 53. And it dropped back in 2019. However, it's been increased back in 2020 and reached the highest number, which is 76 of these growth of publications. So these are the another results and findings, and we have this graph here. So this is the graph of the total publications and the total citations by year, and you can see here that there is increasing in 2018 and has been decreasing until 2010, and it remained constant, and starting 2014 in until 2016 has been decreased, and then it's increased back in 2020 and slowly decreasing in 2022. And these are the table 2, which is the types of documents. The highest numbers of documents has been published is article, above 781, and followed by review paper and conference paper, note paper, and then editorial paper, book chapter, letter, and short survey, book, and conference review, and the undefined documents about two. Okay, now we are still in results and discussions. So let's take a look into table 4, which is language used for the publications. So according to this table, there are 40 languages used for 137 publications. And most of the publications, about 95%, were written in English and followed by the German, French, Chinese, and Japanese, Spanish, Dutch, and Hebrew, Italians, Persian, Danish, Creole, and these Polish, Portuguese, and the list is in Russian. So another table, which is table 5, which is subject area. This is very interesting, as we can see that most of the subject area are discussing about medicine, which is in about 886 publications, and for the nursing about 186, and environmental science about 171 publications, and the social science 156 publications. So around this trend, it seems that it started to evolve, that the areas is getting into get attentions where the trends are trying to integrate between these medicines, environmental science, and the social science, where we can see that it's followed by these health professions and earth and parliamentary science and the computer science. And we can see here the R and humanities, about 21 total publications, and the least are economics and econometrics and finance, about 2 publications only. So okay, we are still in results and discussion. So let's take a look into figure 3, which is network visualization map of the co-authorship based on the authors. So the analysis of the authors and co-authors relationships help us to identify the major research groups that are working in particular fields. So this can be achieved easily by mapping the authors and the co-authors relationship that have a minimum of 2 numbers of citations and extracted with full counting, and this can be illustrated in this figure 3, as you can see here. So the figure 3 shows the mapping process that provides a visual representations of the relationship, which make it easier for us to study the activity of an author and the interconnectivity with the other research groups. So according to this figure 3, they found that there were 12 clusters that are working in the field of the health disaster risk management and disaster planning. And the most important findings shows there are research groups of the authors contains, for example, Asai Y, Carr Z, Hasegawa A, Koide Y, Maeda M, Morimura N, Sakamoto, Tanigawa, and the Wist W. They were the prominent groups in the fields, and among all the researchers, and you can see here, Chan, which is the blue color here, has the highest of the total publications, which are about 19 publications, and followed by the Burkle, Kayano, and Kim, which are 8 total publications. Okay, right now we move to the figure 4, which explain about the network visualization map of the co-authorship based on the countries. And you can see here the country represented by the colors of the site notes. So the bigger size nodes, that means the biggest color. So you can see here the blue color represent United States, and United States has shows that the most active countries that have the publications on the health disaster risk management and in the context of disaster planning, and it's followed by the color green, which is United Kingdom, about 99 publications, and then followed by the Canada, which is the colors of the olive here, like the olive green, something like that. It's followed by the countries of Canada, and then followed by this red color, which representing China, Japan, Germany, Italy, France, and you can see here Hong Kong, Iran, Netherlands. So these are the visualizations of these network according to the countries. Okay, we are still in the results and discussion. Let's take a look into this figure 5, which is the network visualization map based on the author keywords. So the nodes in the figure are the keywords. So the size of the nodes indicates the frequency of the keywords, and the connecting lines indicate the co-occurrence of the keywords. And according to this figure 5, it shows have different colors, and it's divided into different topics. Yeah? We have the small cluster, we have the big cluster. So you can see here the biggest cluster, which is the orange color, which is the disaster keywords, and followed by the red, which is the emergency preparedness, and then followed by the light green, we have the emergency management, and followed by the block color, which is the darker blue, explaining about the types of the disaster, which have the earthquake, bombing, community. All right, and then this is followed by the top 20 keywords, and from that it has been extracted into the table, and the highest shows the frequency about the human 889 and the disaster playing about 874, and followed by all other keywords, and the least one is the terrorism, which is 152. So the conclusion is that the findings shows that increasing trends of the publications related to the health disaster risk management globally, especially after 2002. So most of the documents of the health disaster risk management published in the Scopus database between the 1976 and 2022 were the original research articles, which are mainly written in English. And the findings of the present study are hoped to provide useful insights and information for the researchers to determine the future directions related to the field of the health disaster risk management studies. So that's all. Thank you so much. And these are all the references that I use for the bibliometric review on the health disaster risk management and disaster planning. Thank you very much.